Good morning, everyone present here. I am Anju Kundu, along with my colleagues Ms. Kanchan Khatreja and Dr. Anshul Saluja from School of Education at K. Mangalam University, would like to welcome you all on a third day of this one-week online interdisciplinary faculty development program on meaningful research and intellectual property rights, which is being held in collaboration with the Faculty of Education, CCS University Meerut. The School of Education at K. Mangalam University aspires to become an internationally recognized department through excellence in interdisciplinary arena of education, research and innovation, preparing socially responsible lifelong learners, contributing to the nation building. Today is the third day of FDP and topic of the day is uh, filing of patents and documentation procedures, industrial design, and geographical indications. A patent gives you the right to stop others from copying, manufacturing, selling, or importing your innovations without your permission. A patent is important because it can help safeguard your invention. It can protect any product, design, or process that meets certain specifications according to its originality, practicality, suitability, and utility. In most of the cases, a patent can protect an invention for up to 20 years. It's a great honor to introduce our guest speaker for today's session. And I would like to take this opportunity to introduce ma'am. Today we have Mrs. V. Swapna, Associate Faculty Member and ATI and IPF in charge. She has 16 years of total experience in training and consultancy in area of intellectual property rights, quality management, skill development programs. She has a master's degree of textile technology from University College of Technology, Osmania. She is the certified patent agent and trademark agent by Intellectual Property Office, Government of India. She has postgraduate diploma in patents law from Nalsa University. She is also certified as ZSSR from Quality Council of India. She is specialist in patent analytics in wide range of industry segments that covers textiles, chemical, and so on, capable of handling various types of projects. She is also well versed in patents and trademark filing and prosecutions procedures. She is also having knowledge on commercial patent, trademark, and business database. She worked closely with union ministries, MSME development institutes, women entrepreneurship associations, industry associations, and state governments for organizing workshops, capacity building programs, and exhibitions, and also for providing consultancy for assistance and monitoring aspiration and existence entrepreneurs. She is management representative of National Institute of MSME for implementation and maintenance of the quality system. She has attended the 15 days international training programs at Jakarta and Indonesia and 10 national level professional training programs. We welcome you, ma'am. Before we proceed further, I would like to request Professor Dr. Tanya Gupta, ma'am, Dean School of Education, to enlighten our participants with a few words. Tanya, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Manju. Good morning to all the participants who have joined us on day 3 of the Faculty Development Program on Meaningful Research and Intellectual Property Rights, which is being shared, which is, it's a collaborative endeavor. Why I use the word shared is because it's sharing of knowledge, it's sharing of ideas, it's sharing of lot of experiences where the School of Education, K.R. Mangalam University, Gurugram, Haryana has come up along with the Faculty of Education, CCS University Meerut, to organize this one-week interdisciplinary faculty development program. And today we are on day 3 of this FDP. For the past 2 days, we have moved from the basics of intellectual property rights, where we had Dr. Manjeera Saikia. She had given a very extensive and elaborate presentation and overview on the basics of IPR. And yesterday, day 2, we had Professor A.V. Senthil Kumar, who spoke on systematic approach for writing research articles, indexing, and citations. So, dear colleagues, we are here today with the day 3 of our Faculty Development Program. And today we have an expert, Dr. V. Swapnaji. You've already heard about her profile, and she's also taking us on, she's taking us ahead in this journey of understanding IPR and meaningful research. And today we have invited her on to speak with all of you on filing of patents. We all know how important today it is, to file patents, but then it is a very scientific process. It's a very elaborate process. It requires certain procedures and documentations, and one has to be very specific on what kind of patents one wants to file. So she is here with us to take us on this understanding of what is actually a patent and how does one go about the procedure of patents. So welcome on behalf of our Vice Chancellor, our Pro Vice Chancellor, our management, leadership, as well as from CCS University Meerut. Dr. Swapnaji, we welcome you. It's an honor to have you with us. And we really hope that the session is going to be extremely enriching, extremely meaningful. And the format of our FDP is that we will, once you finish with your presentation, your discussions, the participants will be posting in questions in the chat box, which we will request you to take up subsequently towards maybe the last 20 minutes or so, if there are substantial amount of questions. Otherwise, you can proceed with your presentation. So welcome once again, madam, and we are very happy to have you on board. May I now please kindly request you to conduct your session. Welcome.
Thank you, Tanya.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, Tanya, madam, and Manju, madam, for giving me the opportunity. And I welcome all the participants from KR Mangalam University and CCS University for organizing this 1 week interdisciplinary faculty development program on meaningful research and intellectual property rights. This is a need of hour for all the faculties to do a meaningful research. Session will definitely help them to go through the patent information, how to
Your voice got stuck.
get insights from the patent information, and also what are the procedures and geographical indications. And madam has already said that the basic much time on that, and I'll just go away. Any problem? So I will be straight away informing you the patent filing process, and also the documentation procedures, and also the procedure for the industrial design and geographical indications. Okay, so let me share my presentation. Hope, are you able to see my presentation, or shall I share once again?
Yeah, ma'am, you have to share it once again because it's not visible right now.
Yeah, okay. Hope you are able to see this.
Yeah, now it's visible, ma'am. We can go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, as Madam already briefed about my profile, I just wanted to give quick introduction about our institute, National Institute for Micro, Small, Medium Enterprises. It is an autonomous organization under Ministry of MSME, and we are pioneer institute for development and providing the information services for the MSME sector, and cadre services like training consultancy
Ma'am, sorry to intervene, but your voice got stuck in
in
between.
the education and information service. It has trained more than 5 lakh participants by organizing, trained various officials from central and international programs, and so far we have conducted 10,000 so that it will be clear. Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am. We can hear you, but with the some kind of network issue, ma'am, in between. But now it's clear. We can go ahead, ma'am.
Hello.
It's audible, ma'am, now.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay. So we have trained so far 10,000 international executives from 143 developed countries. And Institute has undertaken consultancy activities on various MSME aspects. So we have also conducted international programs and also various research projects. And we are also nodal agency for cluster development, where we have undertaken the consultancy for more than 150 rural clusters. Okay, so coming to our center, Intellectual Property Facilitation Center, mainly help the MSMEs in IP registrations, and also we conduct various awareness and training programs in this area. And so far we have filed more than 100 trademarks, and we have filed more than 50 patents, and we have done significant number of copyrights, designs, and geographical indications. And I will not go into the basics because it is already covered. So I will straight away talk about the patents. Okay, patents, as you all aware, that is a right given for any new product or a process, or any new modification for a product or a process that has some economic significance. Okay, so improvements can also go for the patent right, provided that it meets a patentable criteria. Hope you all aware of the patentable criteria. So the main these three are important, that is novelty, inventive step, and industrial application. So this is a criteria for getting the patent right. So any invention, if you want to have the patent right, so it has to meet this patentable criteria, and it should not fall under the non-patentable inventions that are defined under Patent Act. Okay, so there are certain things, I think this have already covered. So we have patent office at Kolkata, we have at Delhi, Mumbai, and even we have it Chennai. Okay, so all the southern states we have to file through the Chennai patent office, whereas north they have to file through a Delhi office. So based on their jurisdiction, we have to file in the appropriate office. Okay, so now we need not worry about all that. There is an e-filing system where we can file all we can upload all the documents and file the patent application from anywhere. Okay, through e-filing system, and this was introduced 3 years back, and it was very much helpful, and a lot of transparency has been brought by the Indian Patent Office. Okay, so we can even track the patent application status online, and we can also search the patents through the public search portal, iPages. So lot of developments have happened, and we can even get the SMS alert for the patent from the patent office also regarding the patent status. Okay, so these are the developments happened. And coming to the patent filing, okay, so there are certain forms and procedure that you need to follow before filing the patent. So as I said, whenever you have an invention, you have to file the patent application before you disclose in the public. Okay, and for most of the faculty, you have to keep it in mind that before publication you need to file the patent application. Okay, so if you publish before you file the patent application, then you will lose the criteria of getting the patent. Okay, so that's why I advise all the faculty to please first file the patent application and then go for the publication of your research in any of the journals. Okay, so I will show the site where you can get all the information. Where you can get all the information regarding the patents. So this is a site, ipindia.nic.in. So this is a site where you get all the information regarding the patents, designs, trademarks, geographical indications. Okay, so there is a link to file your patent application, or you can also do a public search. Okay, where you can search for the Indian patents. Okay, there is also dynamic utilities where you can check all the status regarding the patent applications. Okay, so this is a comprehensive e-filing system. Whenever you click this, then there will be links for separate for e-filing of patents, e-filing of designs, e-filing of trademarks, designs, and geographical indications. So first, whenever you have some inventions, you have to see that it meets the patentable criteria or not. Okay, so if once it is meet, then you have to prepare for the patent application. Okay, so there are certain documents where you can just check this particular site and go through this forms and fees, where there are particular forms. Okay, so there are form 1, which is a application for the patent grant. Okay, so this is a patent application where you need to fill, give the details regarding the applicant. Patent can be filed by an individual, by an company, or by it can be a joint application also. It can be by an individual and a company. It can be by both the companies. Okay, so even academic institutions can also file the patent application. Okay, so this is a format for form 1, where you need to give the details regarding the applicant, nationality, and also the address for applicant. Okay, so if you are an individual filing the patent application, then you have to click this natural person, and then you have to give all the other details regarding your address and nationality. Okay, for foreign applications like foreign country, they should have an address for service at India, so they can make use of any form, IP form, or they can use of any attorney to have the address of India. Okay, or they should have an office at India to file the patent application. Okay, and regarding this fee also, the fee varies based on the type of applicant. If it is an individual, SME, or startups, or even the educational institutes also come under the same category like a small entity, and the fee structure is 1600 rupees for the patent filing. Okay, so you have to click all these details in this. You have to give all these details and prepare this particular form, hard copy, and you have to keep a folder where you need to keep all these documents. And there is also a specific format for drafting your patent, drafting your invention, about your invention. Okay, so this is about the form where you need to give the applicant details, you need to give the inventor details. Okay, so there can be 2 applicants, 3 applicants, or there can be also joint applicants. Okay, all these details you have to give it. And you have to mention number of pages also. So I will show the format to this is a form 1, which is a mandatory for filing the patent application. Okay, and there is one more form which is called as form for specification. Okay, so this is a form where you need to give in this particular format. Okay, and for filing the patent application, suppose your invention is still in the idea stage and you require some more time to file complete it, you can file a provisional application. Okay, so after filing the provisional application, within 12 months you need to file the complete specification. Okay, and it is not mandatory also to file first provisional or then complete. If you are complete with your invention, you can directly file the specification. So this is a format for complete specification or provisional specification. I will show the contents of the patent application and how to suppose you do a research, maybe you do some literature search. Whenever you review all the literature relating to that particular area. Similarly, whenever you file a patent application, you have to go through the all the documents in that particular area, and you have to find some of the references which are close to the patent applications which are already filed that particular area. And also you have to identify what are the gaps that is existing and what your invention will be addressing. Okay, maybe your invention is addressing certain entirely a new product or a new process which is not there in the literature. Okay, so you have to mention all those things in the patent specification. I will be sharing now the patent specification format where you need to give all the details in different titles. Okay, and prepare the patent specification. Okay, so this is a format for application, and this is a document which you need to prepare very carefully. Okay, that's why most of the applicants they take care, they make use of patent agents or IP forms for drafting their patent application. Okay, so as you all aware that patent has a different are mentioned in a legal language. Okay, and if you are talking about a product, okay, or a device or anything that you have to give the diagram of that particular drawing device or a product. Okay, if it is a process, then you have to mention regarding the flow chart, how the process flow is like. Okay, so all these things you have to prepare in this patent specification. And last part will be the abstract, where you need to write about your invention, not more than 150 words. Okay, words. So these are all the points which you have to mention in this particular title. And it should not be more than 15 words. So these are all the points for patent specific format. Okay, these are the some of the examples which is like we should not also use this patent word in the title. Okay, most of the applicants, they do that patented device, patented formula. Okay, so they include that in the title. Okay, but we should not use a word patent. Okay, so what is actually the subject matter of the invention, you have to mention in this particular title. Okay, and if you have any specific, suppose I develop a device which runs automatically, maybe by pneumatic way. Okay, so I may say that it is a pneumatic machine. Okay, so if it is a formulation which is helpful, which is made up of herbal formulation, so you may say that it's a herbal composition or a herbal formulation. Okay, used for cosmetic purpose. Okay, or maybe you may say that if it is relating to any food, okay, or any drink. Okay, you have to mention like that. Okay, so this is a title where you have to write with without not exceeding 15 words. And then comes the field of invention. Okay, where you write the field, what actually your inventions relate to. And also you should also highlight the application of that particular invention. Okay, in that. Okay, suppose your invention is relating to a drying machine for drying the spices or agri commodities. You have to mention that it's the inventions relate to the drying machine for drying the agri commodities. That can be spices, that can be any type of agri commodity. Okay, so like that you have to mention the field of invention. And third one will be the prior art or the background, where you need to list all the related references. Maybe it can be a patent references or the publication references which is already there in the public domain. Okay, and what are all the problems that is existing. Okay, or your invention is addressing any of the problem, then you have to highlight in this particular prior art and the problem to be solved. Okay, so the next part will be the objective of the invention. In this particular part you have to mention what your invention is actually solving, what is the objective of that particular invention. Okay, so is it addressing any problem? Okay, or it is giving suppose if it is a product which is having some additional features. Okay, maybe the product is existing and you have modified the product and come out with a more features, then you have to highlight that particular thing. Okay, so all this you have to mention in the objective of the invention, where you have to give the entire details about your invention. Okay, so you have to describe the invention with the help of drawings, and you have to label the drawings. And in the description you have to explain about your invention with the help of this labels. Okay, all this even the minute details regarding the invention you have to specify in this particular section. Okay, so even you have to highlight where this invention will be applicable and what are all the possibilities. Okay, so for that particular invention, all this you have to mention in this particular detailed description of the invention. And the last part will be the statement of claims, where actually you will specify the invention aspects in a legal language. Okay, suppose I have made some dispenser, maybe dispensing, my inventions lies in the dispensing mechanism. Then you have to highlight in the claims only that dispensing mechanism. You should not talk about all the dispenser, means other than this dispensing mechanism. Okay, so you were what actually your invention, that only you have to highlight in this particular section. Okay, and the last part will be the drawings, where you need to give this in a separate section, and there should not be any words written on that. Okay, and all the components, all the parts of the diagram, or suppose if it is a device, you have to give the diagram, line diagram of that particular device, and you have to give you have to label. Okay, you should not mention the parts on that particular drawing sheet. Okay, and there is a specific format mentioned by the patent office. Okay, so it should be in the A4 size sheets with a clear margin of 4 centimeters on the top and 3 centimeters at the bottom. Okay, so these things you have taken name at the end of the each page, and on the top of the page on the right side there should be number of sheet and what is the sheet number. Okay, so there is a specific thing in the diagrams. And last part will be the abstract, which has to be written in a separate sheet. Okay, and it should not be more than 150 words, and there should not be repetitive things. Okay, what actually your invention is, what is the problem that it is solving, or what is the advantage of your significance of your invention, all this you have to mention in this particular abstract. If you feel that you can also give the diagram of the main diagram in this abstract also. Okay, if it is a process, you have to explain that particular process, the steps involved in that. Okay, what is the how this process will be used, what is the utility of that. Okay, so all this you have to mention in the abstract. Okay, so this is the format for the patent specification, and there is also guidelines which is given for claims identification. Okay, and this anyway I will be sharing this particular document to you all for the faculty. Maybe you can make use of this document, and you can draft the patent application. Okay, so this is actually given in the manual, but I have just condensed it and make in a particular template. Okay, so that it will be very easy for making the patent specification document. Okay, so these all the things, and before before preparing this patent specification document, advise all of you to go through the patents which is already there in that particular area. Okay, so that is why we do a patent search, thorough patent search, and find out what are all the patents that are filed already in this particular domain area. Okay, so by that you can understand actually what are all the developments that has happened in that particular area. Is there any gaps that is existing? Okay, and this patent search also will help you for giving the right direction to your research. Suppose you have thought of working on a particular problem. Okay, and you have gone through the patent literature, and you see what are all the works that has done in that particular area, what are the solutions that they have offered, and what are the gaps that is existing, and what you can work. Okay, so that your invention will be patented. Okay, and most of the technical information lies in the patent literature. That's why patent information is very useful for doing a meaningful research. Okay, so this in the same site where you find this forms and fees, there is a patent search. Okay, so you go to home, there is a public search option. Okay, click on this public search. Okay, so click on this patents. So now you can see there is a patent search, patent e-register, application status. Okay, so this patent search only, this is a portal Indian patent advanced search system, where you can search the India. Okay, search by the date, you can search by the title, you can search by the inventor names, you search, but all this information is pertaining to India only. Okay, so you will not get the entire information, what are all the developments happened. Okay, to get the complete information. Okay, this site is only relating to the patent information relating to India. Okay, so you can use the keywords, and you can use particular codes. Okay, so there is a patent classification code which will be helpful for searching the relevant patents. I hope that maybe the earlier speakers might have talked about the patent classification. Okay, so this is a classification code which will be followed by all the countries, and this is classification code is based on the domain area. Okay, so WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization, they have classified this patent documents based on the different sections. Okay, so there is a code which is given. Okay, suppose if it is relating to chemistry related. Okay, so particular code is given. If it is relating to textile, so they have given. Okay, so based on the technology, these classification codes are given. Okay, suppose if you are searching in a particular domain, you can search, you can find out the relevant classification code, and you can search, just give the code, and you can search the relevant patents in that particular area. Okay, so this you can in this particular site, you can make use of this different fields, and give the keywords and search relevant patents. Okay, so try to understand what are all the developments that has happened in that particular area. Okay, so fine, and also take what are all the closely related while drafting your patent application. Okay, so whenever you are filing drafting this patent specification. Okay, so you have to highlight in the prior art the what are all the close references in that particular area. Okay, and how your invention is different from those references, or what is the advantage of about your invention when compared to the previous inventions. Okay, so all this you have to highlight in that particular section. Okay, so this is about the patent reference. Suppose you give, suppose any word. Okay, maybe now everyone is talking about immunity, so I'm just giving immunity. Okay, or immunity, just to find out what all the things which
Ma'am, Swapna ma'am.
which has been invented, okay, in the last few years, okay, because now in this COVID scenario, everyone became health conscious and talking about immunity, improving the immunity. Okay, so there are a lot of formulations, okay, food products which is developed, okay, for improving your immunity. Okay, so there are a lot of things in that particular area also. Okay, so this you can search is in this particular section, and you can see what are all the developments. 161 documents which is talking about immunity. Okay, so immunity enhancing composition method thereof. Okay, so if you click on this, we can find out what is the invention about. Okay, the site is very slow. Okay, I'm not able to. Once you enter that patent application file, I mentioned about, you can search in this. Okay, so this is related to the patents and the documents. Okay, so one is form 1 and form 3, you have to file it, and there is one more form called form 3, okay, where you need to give the information regarding the statement and undertaking. Okay, so form also a mandatory document you have to file along with the patent application. Okay, so this statement says that if you have details about the particular references, has to give the declaration and they have to sign on that particular document. Okay, so this is also a document which you have to file along with the patent application. Okay, so if you are filing through taking the help of a patent agent, then you have to file one more form that is called as form 26. Okay, so that has to be taken on the, this is a form 26 which has to be taken on the 100 rupees stamp paper, and you have to sign it and send along with the patent application. Okay, so these are the certain requirements, and after filing there will be a publication, okay, where the patent office will publish your document after 18 months. Okay, if you are in a hurry and you wanted to market your product or commercialize your product, then you have to put a request for early publication, and for that you 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 have to put a request in this particular form 9. Okay, so this is a form 9. Okay, so this is for putting the request for publication, and once that is published, it is open for anybody to oppose, provided with proper evidence. Okay, so that is called a pre-grant opposition stage. Okay, if there is no opposition, then it goes to the examination stage, and patent office will not examine your document your application until you put a request for examination, and that you have to put a request in the form 18. Okay, so this is a form 18 which is mandatory. You have to file it within 48 months after filing the patent application. Okay, so these are the certain requirements, certain forms which you need to fill it and file in order to get the patent right. Okay, so I will show the e-filing system where you can just file online. There is a e-filing portal. Okay, so now we need not file the patent application. We need not go to the office physically and submit all the documents. We can file online. Okay, so this is a portal where you can search all the where you can file the patent application online. Okay, I'm just logging through my ID. And for registering in this particular portal, any applicant can do it, or any individual can do it, or a patent agent or an attorney can register in this particular portal. Okay, so for this, there is a user guide given in this particular portal. Okay, once you just enter in this patent, there is a user guide where you need to do certain system requirements, and also you need to have a digital signature for filing the patent application. Okay, so once you prepare all the documents, you have to click on this new application. Okay, and this is a pop-up which is showing that if your invention is having any biological resource obtained from India, then you have to take a permission from the National Biodiversity Authority, and it is a mandatory. Before filing the patent application, you have to take the permission approval from the NBA. Okay, if you are not, if your invention is not having any information relating to biological resource obtained from India, then you can straight away proceed to the e-filing. So this is information that you need to give. Okay, type of application. Okay, you should give ordinary application. Okay, so as a citizen, first they have to file in India before filing in abroad. Okay, in the other foreign countries. Okay, if you're filing directly in any of the foreign country, then you have to take the permission from the Indian patent office. Put a request to the patent office that you are filing in other countries. Okay, that is mandatory. Okay, and once you click on this ordinary application, you have to mention whether it is a provisional or a complete. As I said, there are two types. One is provisional if you are still in idea stage. You just need to give India, gives priority to those who files first. Okay, so first whoever files first, they will have the priority. Okay, so that's why most of the companies, whenever they have some new idea or they are doing some developments, then first they immediately go and file the provisional application. Okay, so after filing the provisional application, within 12 months they have to file the complete specification, and without filing the complete specification, the patent office will not process your application further. Okay, so if you are ready with your invention, you just directly file the complete specification. Okay, so you can just click on the type of applications, and you should also mention the number of pages, because the patent fee will be calculated based on the number of pages. Okay, so your patent document, as I said, no, the form 2, where I have shown the different sections where you need to provide the information and prepare the patent specification document. Okay, so that document, if it exceeds more than 30 pages, then for any additional page, then there will be a fee incurred. Okay, that's why we need to mention this number of pages, and based on these pages the fee will be calculated. Okay, and even for the claims also, more than 10 claims, for additional claim you have to pay the additional fee. Okay, and these fee details also are all mentioned in the link which is provided in form sign fee, which I have shown while showing these forms. No, so there the first one will be the fee, where you can see what are all the different fee structures of the Indian Patent Office. Okay, and these are all the things, details you have to give it. Title you have to mention, you have to give the address per service, that should be in Indian address. Okay, so even the email ID for mobile number you have to give, because all the communications will be given to that particular email ID, and also you will get an SMS alert, okay, to the given mobile number. Okay, so these are the latest developments. Earlier we don't have this facility, but now the patent office is sending the messages through SMS, also SMS alert, that your examination report has been or whenever you file it, okay, you will get an SMS alert that application has been filed. Okay, so mm, that reference will be getting through to your mobile. Okay, so you have to give all the abstract description claims, and you need to add the applicants also and inventor details in this. And then you have to mention this inventor details, and also you have to give this mandatory documents like form 9, form 18. If you are wanted to file along with the patent application, then you can
Swapna
straight
ma'am.
away mention this.
Swapna ma'am.
Yeah. Yes.
Ma'am, your screen is freezed.
Freezed. Okay, I'll just now.
Yeah,
Can you
we can see only one screen. It's not moving yet.
Oh, okay. I'm just let me share once again. Okay.
Sure, ma'am.
Can you see now? Can you see?
Not now, ma'am, but it's yet started screen sharing. It shows it started screen sharing.
Okay.
Ma'am, Swapna ma'am, we cannot hear you.
Participants can post their questions in chat box, please.
Swapna ma'am, we cannot hear you.